Welcome everybody. Hello, blessings to everybody out there in Internet Island, as we say. This is Brian from your boy Brian Speaks On, the blog that you could find on YouTube and on Facebook. And I'm here with a very special guest today. This is the diminutive diva, aka Danielle Monique, whom you can find on her blog website, Diminutive Diva. And we're both just a couple of vloggers, I guess you could say, a couple of vloggers in love. And that kind of leads to the little segue that we wanted to talk about today, which is black love. And for those who may be a little bit confused, I am black, yes. And but because we come in all shades, as you all know, or should know by now. We didn't want to talk for long, but we did want to kind of broach the subject a little bit in the sense of, you know, there's a thing that goes on within black culture, and we tend to fixate on things that are already stereotypes in themselves that we tend to continue to, you know, keep going. And some things are very much exaggerated and you know, blown out of proportion, like black fatherhood, for example. And one of the subjects that tends to get blown way out of proportion, and we continue to kind of feed into the perception of, is black love being such a holy grail, you know, to find. And we just wanted to kind of show a small example of how black love is not just more than a mythical fairy tale. You know, it is something that is actually tangible and realistic, and it goes beyond borders. And what I mean by that is, you know, it transcends location, it transcends distance. We ourselves are a bi-coastal couple at this time, and you know, thanks to the power of the universe and all of its many wonders that we have yet to, you know, discover, we wound up meeting, you know, and we wound up growing and organically becoming the couple that we are now. So again, it's not so much that we wanted to post this up to aggrandize ourselves. It's really just more of doing a little cultural myth busting, you know, because, and I know we as a people we tend to make jokes about damn near everything. And some jokes are funny, some jokes are merited. But when you feed into the joke to the point where you really start to believe that that's the actual reality, I think that's when you need to kind of take a pause and take a step back, you know, and we tend to do that sometimes. And I just wanted to say that, you know, just in short, black love is not only out there, it's way more realistic than you think. And it's just like any other love, you know. People of all different cultures go through, you know, trials and tribulations before they find a person that clicks with them the correct way, and you click back with them. I think the thing that you need to keep in mind is that you're always supposed to be improving upon yourself, so that when you do find somebody that you find to be incredibly awesome and somebody that you want to be with, you want to make sure that you are also that person to them. You know, you can't get so stuck on what you want and not be the reflection of what it is that you want. You know, you may find somebody and not be at that place yourself because you were too busy being cynical and bitter and, you know, stuck in some kind of emotional rut. And how are you becoming that person for this person that you met? You know, you may have blown your own shot thanks to your own, you know, being caught up in stereotypes and cynical fairy tales, so to speak. But one thing that I don't like to do is I don't like to hog the screen time.
I was waiting, like, am I going to get a word in here?
Yes, you shall. Yes, you may.
Monologue out the way.
Yeah, I got my monologue out the way, so now I'm going to be quiet and let the diminutive diva take over from here.
So with us in our relationship, we've gotten to a point where, like, we put pictures up on social media together and tag each other and stuff, and some people will say, well, why do you need to do all that? Why is that necessary? And I can understand the argument in favor of being extremely discreet, but the reason why I like to put this out here like this, and why I'm cool with even doing a video like this, is because online and in social media, there is so much negativity put out there regarding relationships between African American men and African American women, to the point where we look like we are enemies in this just merciless, unending war. And I'm not going to sit here and say that there are no issues in our community, that there are nothing that needs to change in the relationship between African American men and African American women, because I would be lying if I did that. But at the same time, just focusing on negativity and the toxic and dysfunctional relationships and the problems that people have, some of which they make for themselves, because let's be honest, that's another thing that I feel is not addressed. It's so easy to point the finger at, oh, these trifling, I'm not going to say the word y'all use, but these trifling black men ain't any good, or these trifling black women, but nobody wants to stop and look at themselves and reflect on what they are doing wrong, why they keep attracting, and not just attracting, but entertaining certain people and going through those certain experiences. It's always someone else's fault, and we're just mired in this negativity. And I've been guilty of doing that in the past. You know, if we look back at some of my posts over the years, you will see that too. So my thing is this: if we can go so hard in the service of negativity and putting bad relationships on blast, why should we feel the need to hide when we're in love and we get someone that's good for us and something that's positive? I feel that any positive aspects of blackness, whether that's a relationship, parenthood, family, education, career, we have a responsibility to put that out there and to celebrate it, because there has to be a balance to all the negativity. So that's why we're here, and that's why we're doing this, because people need to see this. People need to know that even with all the mess out there and the dysfunction and the toxicity, it is possible in 2017 to be with someone, and not just for the sake of saying you have a man or a woman or something just physical, but someone that really complements you and enhances your life. Like, this man is so good looking and fine, but he brings so much more to my life and to that of my daughter as well, and vice versa. You know, we're coming together, we're growing, we're a family, and we're building our life together. So it's still very possible, even though you may go through some stuff. I mean, he and I, we both had our experiences. We both know what it's like to go through a divorce, but even with that, we still found each other. And I just feel blessed to have him, and he ain't going nowhere. I'm not letting him go, and I'm not going anywhere either. And that's what I got to say.
Well, for those who can't see, I'm actually literally tied up right now, so I'm literally not going anywhere. So
tied up, really.
But in all seriousness, I think what we just wanted to strive to put out there is that self-accountability is a big deal for all of us, and not feeding into negative perceptions and making them into reality.
And be different. Like,
right.
Everyone complains. It is the norm at this point for African American men and African American women to bash each other. There
right.
are people who have built their entire platforms off of this. Why not do something different?
Exactly.
Be a rebel. Exactly. Be part of the solution.
And it's like my baby said, if you could put that much energy into, you know, putting out vitriolic negativity, imagine what you could get back by putting out some positive energy. You know, it costs you nothing to do it, first of all, and the rewards that you can reap just from that. People feel energy, man. Yes. And that's why some people can't seem to understand why they mire in their circumstances, like they are in a perpetual situation all the time. When you have negative energy, that's what you're going to attract, you know. And you've heard that rhetorically, you've heard that in so many different formats, and yet people seem to not allow that to really sink in sometimes. Put yourself in a position where you want to be found, you know. Do you want somebody to find you as this bitter, negative person? And that goes for both genders, you know.
And are you even ready for the type of person you say you want in your life as, right. As a spouse or as a partner? There there have been points in my life, because I hadn't grown enough as a woman, where if I had encountered him then, we wouldn't have what we have now, because I wasn't ready to receive a man like him, and I wasn't at a point where I could give him what he needed as well. So the outcome would have been very different. So when you're setting up this checklist and all the things that you want and you need in a person, you have to ask yourself, well, am I that opposite? Am I the feminine or masculine version of that? Because you may not be ready for what you think you want yet. There may be some more time, there may be some more work that you need to invest in yourself first.
Right. And to quote a very nice phrase that I've heard and seen over the internet, you can't demand what you cannot provide. You know, so remember, when you're putting things out there and you're talking about, you know, what people need to accept from you and deal with as it applies to you, that's a two-way street. You know, if you're not going to accept less, and if you're not going to deal with less than what you feel you deserve, then don't turn around and talk about, well, this is what it is, and well, that's just going to have to be good enough. Always, not for the other person's sake, for your own sake, always strive to be the best version of yourself, because when you do meet somebody finally that compliments you, you can be that person for them as well. You know, you got to keep it fair to the other person. It's not just your dream, it's not just your goal, it's not just your world. You have to, you're combining two and fusing them. So with that being said, we just wanted to put it out there that, you know, you can perpetuate things one way or the other. We're just choosing to perpetuate the positive aspect of you know, couples out here in black love.
That's a good hashtag. Might be a little long. Perpetuate the positive.
I know, I'm cool with that. So if anybody wants to take that before we trademark it, you know, feel free.
Ours.
Alright, well, never mind. It's on video, so y'all can't steal it. We'll sue. We're gonna sue. And again, you can find this vlog on both our websites, the Diminutive Diva.com and on BrianSpeaksOn.com on YouTube and on Facebook. You can find both of our pages on Facebook as well. And we just want to wish everybody blessings. We wish you all well, and we hope to see more of you on this side of the fence.
I want everyone to be in love and be happy now.
Yeah, let's all go to the yeah, exactly.
Hook everyone up.
You know, let's all be at the cookout like this.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
All this lighting.
Yeah. But bless up to everybody. We wish you all well. Later.
Bye.